Thank you. Right, next to item 16. We've got Todd. This one's another private plan change on Whenuapai Green. He's going to go quickly through presentation on this. And we do have an extra chair's rec, which I'll put up at the end around putting a submission in.
Through the chair. Kia ora, good afternoon. My name is Todd Elder. I'm a Senior Policy Planner in the Regional Northwestern Islands and Warren McLennan's team. Today I'm presenting the Whenuapai Green private plan change request. This is the same decision as Christopher just presented. The plan change request is from the Neil Group, and I don't know what we're working with today. There we go. From the request from the Neil Construction Group, and it's seeking to rezone 16 hectares of future urban zone land to residential housing, mixed housing urban, sorry. It introduces a new precinct. It will also introduce the stormwater, the stormwater management area flow control and adjust the historic heritage overlay extent of place for a small area. The red dot is the approximate location of the plan change. It's just to the north of the existing Whenuapai town, and it is contiguous to the existing live zone land, as you can see on that site, diagram, sorry. That zone will provide approximately 430 dwellings. The plan change also, as I said, includes a precinct. The precinct includes 2 non-complying activities, one for wastewater, the bulk wastewater, the other for transport infrastructure upgrades. The precinct also provides or achieves an appropriate urban layout, a connected network, and that's including to neighbouring sites, enhances the riparian margins to the streams, and incorporates appropriate water quality and stormwater flood management areas. It also includes management of effects on the Whenuapai airbase, specifically reverse sensitivity effects to the NZDF operations, and they predominantly focus around the aircraft engine testing that the NZDF do. So the recommendation today is to accept the plan change request for the following reasons: because the private plan change request to be notified will enable a range of matters to be considered on their merit during the public participation process. It's considered inappropriate to adopt the plan change as the council would adopt it, and it's not appropriate to deal with the plan change as a resource consent. That is the presentation today on this.
Thank you very much, Todd. If you just want to go back. Oh yeah, sorry. If you just want to also go back to the other resolution, just on the, I'll move it. Someone wants to second it, Councillor Ferry. Sorry, it's just taking some time to put up. It's just on a submission that obviously is in this item is significant concerns on this one, especially around the lack of infrastructure, water care, the triggers for transport, and the fact that the aircraft testing is in a zone where normally this would be unacceptable. So there is a submission that will go on those specific points if we accept that. Do we have any questions? Councillor Watson.
So could you just run through again those the non-complying elements that you identified there, and what, if any, influence they could have? I know we're very limited in our scope here, but if they're non-complying, usually that's quite a important consideration in matters such as this.
Sorry, Councillor Watson, if you could just speak into your microphone, we're having a bit of trouble to hear you.
You heard me, didn't you? Yeah.
So the question was around the non-complying activities that are within the precinct. There are 2. There's one for transport infrastructure upgrades, and that's to upgrade the roads to an urban standard. And the rules require at the subdivision stage to have built certain pieces of infrastructure. That includes walking and cycling and a bus stop. The second is a non-complying activity for the water care assets, as there isn't sufficient capacity in the network now. So there is, it will be a non-complying activity until that piece of infrastructure is built and there is capacity.
Just in respect of the resolutions we're considering here, you've perhaps been party to them, I don't know, but do they cover off the relevant considerations, all of them then, or given certainly with B, I think there's been other developments here that have addressed that reasonably easily, haven't they? So is there anything else we should be considering?
In my view, they cover off the key concerns in terms of the transport infrastructure, including the wastewater infrastructure and the noise matters and reverse sensitivity matters from the airbase.
I think I could also hear out of one of my ears, the Mayor was talking about reject or accept, and just, I guess from my perspective, it Megan want to follow what's quite different to Riverhead, which we rejected and it came back and it changed, and different to Beachlands, which we accepted but put a submission like this around decline with a number of caveats, and then we appealed and it's come back. This is different again. Did you want to just clarify what we're doing here, Megan?
Sure. So again, this is this first gateway. So this is not about approving it and saying it's good. What we are is saying we accept that it should be notified and go through a hearings process. We have some concerns. You'll have heard Todd talk about those, and so you see the recommendation in red, which would be for us to accept it to go through for notification and hearing, but we will be a submitter as well, and we will say we need to deal with some of these infrastructure matters, the noise matters, so that makes sure that those things can be discussed through the hearing, and hopefully we get them sorted, and if we don't, then our position is clear, and we may want to appeal, or it might be fine at the end of it. It just entirely depends on the process. So this is the best we can do, given legally our advice to you is we can't stop this from going for notification, but what we can do is get involved in the process and make sure we deal with particularly the very important issues which we know are problematic up here. Is there's so much going on and there is a lack of infrastructure funding and financing, as always.
Thank you. Don't think there are any more questions, so I'll just get you both to step back. Thank you very much. Think it's clear if anyone would like to speak to it. Otherwise, all those in favour? Councillor Ferry seconded. Thank you. All those in favour? Any opposed? Thank you. Right, we go to item 17 and make sure